Welcome back on this Sunday morning. It's the eve of the Iowa caucuses tomorrow. Caucus goers are going to be going out in freezing temperatures, and we're continuing our conversations with candidates this morning, making one final pitch to Iowa voters. Joining us now is Florida Governor Ron DeSantis. Governor, you're out in eastern Iowa. You're out in Dubuque this morning. How has travel been for you over this last week?
Well, I'll tell you, we're showing up. When people are willing to show up, we're doing it. It's not often you find a lot of Floridians coming north in January, but particularly during a blizzard. And yet, not only are we going out doing events, we've got a lot of people that have traveled from all around the country on their own dime just to be able to knock on doors or make phone calls to talk to Iowans about why they think I should be the next president. So we've got a lot of incredible energy. We've worked hard here to build an organization and to get tens of thousands of Iowans committed to caucus for us. And I know that the weather's going to be rough tomorrow, but I think that our folks are going to turn out. This is what they do. And so we're continuing to get all the people that still haven't made a final decision. And there's actually quite a few who have not made a final decision. And so we're making the case that, I'm the best candidate to take this country forward.
Interesting. Just on the eve here of the caucus day, how do you feel when you're looking at your body of work over the last year? How do you feel your message has resonated here in our state?
Well, I've visited all 99 counties. We've taken questions everywhere we've gone. We've engaged with the folks. We've learned a lot from people here in Iowa. We've seen a lot of problems with our country, but then I was able to see a lot of decency, a lot of people that are patriotic, God-fearing, hardworking, and that's really the ingredients that are going to help us turn this country around. So I think I'm a much better candidate as a result of having visited the counties and done the caucus the way you're supposed to do. And I think it'd make me a better president for having gone through this process. So I think it's a good one for this country. I think it's good for the Republican Party. And we've been able to amass a significant amount of support of people that are rearing to go to caucus for us. And so I'm looking forward to tomorrow night.
I've talked with you about polling numbers before. We're going to bring this one up, but a new Des Moines Register NBC News poll last night around 8 p.m. It has Nikki Haley post-debate at 20%. You at 16%. Like I've mentioned, we've talked about polling numbers in the past at several events where I've chatted with you. I want to get a live reaction, I guess, to this new poll, the last one ahead of the caucus day, and then just your overall confidence level going into tomorrow.
Yeah, look, I think a lot of the Iowans, they just roll their eyes at these polls. I mean, the idea that you're going to know in a caucus with negative 20-degree temperatures what that electorate's going to look like. You just can't do it. And so it's basically shooting into the wind. What I know is that we have tens of thousands of people that are locked and committed for us. We've built out the organization, and we know that there's going to be people that are going to make decisions at these sites, and we have all the folks organized there to be able to give the speeches and do what we want to. So we feel great about where we are. I don't think that the polls have typically done a good job, certainly in any race I've run. I mean, I've been down big right before an election and won before. So we're doing it right. Our voters are going to turn out. They are going to be there, and they're excited to be there. And we have a lot of enthusiasm on the ground, and we've seen that as we've gone throughout the state of Iowa. I mean, I'm the only one that's really generating that type of interest. I know Donald Trump has just come into town, but the reality is he's basically been going through the motions. I think he thinks he's entitled to win the caucus. I think thinks he's entitled to have support. We've actually gone out there and earned support, and there's still a lot of support. People are making final decisions even today, and we're in a great position to be able to capture that.
So the younger voters, typically, which would be the new caucus goers, what's your feel on the pulse of that, assuming that you're counting on needing a lot of those young or maybe first-time voters to go out and caucus for you to be able to perform well tomorrow?
Well, we definitely have that. I think if you look at parents with kids, we're the runaway favorite here in Iowa and really amongst Republicans across the country there because they've seen what we've done in Florida to stand up for parents' rights, school choice, curriculum transparency, fighting things like the gender ideology in the schools. And then I'm a dad with 3 young kids as well. So I think that they really relate to me as a candidate for that. So I think you're going to see a lot of those folks for sure. I also think you're going to see some of these younger, the high school, the 18-year-old high school kids, the college kids. we've had a big following at a lot of our events where folks are coming out. I mean, I was just in Northwest Iowa. We had a lot of folks from the college there. So I think you're going to see that. I think that's very difficult to predict with like a telephone survey. But I think what we've been able to do is we've been able to get folks that are part of our organization committed to caucus, signing these cards, going door to door, letting us know that they're going to support us. So that's really, really good. But I do think parents with kids, I think are going to come out in pretty significant numbers, and probably more so than they have in the past, and that'll benefit us.
One last question for you. I know you're heading out to church here quick on the Sunday morning before you get going with your campaign events today. What is one thing you've learned? You've been governor in your second term here now too. What's one thing you've learned about this country stumping through Iowa over the last year?
Well, I think that in spite of all the stuff we see, all the smoke, all the nonsense, the things that we shake our head at a daily basis, underneath all that, in a place like Iowa, you do have the bedrock values that make this country unique. I mean, those are still alive and well in a state like Iowa, and I think they're alive and well throughout most of the United States. It's just that's not always what people are seeing. And those values, unfortunately, haven't been the values that have been powering a lot of the policy at the national level and even some of these other states other than Florida and Iowa. My candidacy really represents an opportunity to take all the things that are great about a state like Iowa and those values and make sure that we have a resurgence of that nationwide. Because when we're true to the principles that make America great, we do very well as a country. When we divert from those principles, which we've been doing lately, that's where we run into some turbulence.